Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel and welcome to the weekly review of Monday Night Raw and Friday Night Smackdown. Let's get started with Monday Night Raw. Now over here we had Bobby Lashley versus Matt Riddle for the United States Championship, where Riddle was about to win, but then Bobby Lashley locked in the Hurt Lock on the outside, technically on the ropes. So the submission should break because he's on the ropes, but Bobby Lashley did not let go, so the referee called for disqualification, and then Riddle tapped out, but Bobby Lashley was going crazy, beat the crap out of him, and walked out. So maybe we'll get a rematch, but for now, Bobby Lashley is still the United States Champion by losing to Riddle from disqualification, but he still keeps the championship from champion's advantage. So then we had Xavier Woods versus Mustafa Ali, and Mustafa Ali said he's going to torture and dominate Xavier Woods, but he did not. Kofi Kingston was at ringside, and he is back. And Xavier Woods picked up the win while Kofi Kingston took out the rest of Retribution, and Xavier Woods pinned Mustafa Ali. This rivalry is kind of cool. Maybe we'll get like the New Day versus Retribution or Kofi versus Ali at WrestleMania or something. Who knows? But this is a pretty good rivalry right now. Then over here we had Jeff Hardy and the man who returned at the Royal Rumble last night, Carlito, take on each other, team up in a tag team match against Jackson Ryker and Elias, where Jeff Hardy and Carlito did pick up the win. Who cares? Why is Jeff Hardy in this terrible rivalry? Over here to start off the show, we had Edge come out and talk to Drew McIntyre, and basically Drew McIntyre was giving him all these compliments, and Edge goes, "What's wrong with you? I have the opportunity to challenge you for the championship at WrestleMania if I want to, and you're over here, instead of issuing me a warning, you're giving me compliments." And Drew McIntyre basically said, well, that's what an ultimate opportunist would do, and I'm not that type of person. And then Sheamus comes out and it basically is on Drew McIntyre's side until Edge says, watch your back because you have a big target on it, meaning Sheamus is going to look for that championship. And right after Edge left the ring, Drew McIntyre held up the championship. He turns around and boom, bro kick by Sheamus. And Sheamus officially turns on Drew McIntyre. And I think next week on Raw, we're getting Sheamus versus Drew McIntyre for the WWE Championship. This has been building up for a while now, and it's finally going to happen. Over here, we had the Hurt Business take on Lucha House Party for the Raw Tag Team Championships. Why did the Lucha House Party get an opportunity? Don't know why. But the Hurt Business did win. Shelton Benjamin pinned one of the two people in the Lucha House Party. And the Hurt Business are still the Raw Tag Team Champions. Over here, we had John Morrison and The Miz have Bad Bunny come out, and they're basically saying, we apologize for interfering with you. Now, do you have anything to say to us, like an apology for us for messing up our Royal Rumble match? And Bad Bunny basically said, nope. And then he said, but I do have a friend who wants to be on The Miz TV. And that's when he introduced Damian Priest. So Damian Priest is officially on the main roster. Then The Miz had a match with Damian Priest, where Damian Priest did pick up the win and beat The Miz. And then in the main event, this is a great match. We had Randy Orton versus Edge. And Randy Orton was getting close to winning. He was going to go for an RKO until Alexa Bliss was on the top rope with this weird black blood thing coming out of her mouth. And then Randy Orton turns around, Alexa Bliss disappears, and boom, a spear by Edge. 1, 2, 3. Edge pins Randy Orton, and he still has not made his decision. He did not challenge Drew McIntyre yet, and oops, Bobby Lashley and Riddle just fell, but Edge did not make his decision yet. Who knows who he's going to face? Now it is time for Friday Night SmackDown's review. Let's get into it. Starting over here with the worst rivalry on SmackDown right now, King Corbin lost to Dominic Mysterio and Rey Mysterio. Literally don't care. Move on to the next thing. Over here, we had a triple threat match between Big E, Apollo Crews, and Sami Zayn for the Intercontinental Championship, where Apollo Crews was about to win it. He threw Sami Zayn over the barricade, got rid of Sami Zayn, and then he ran in there to try to get Big E, and then Big E hit the big ending on Apollo Crews and won the title, or retained the title, in a pretty good match. But I think Apollo Crews is eventually going to join Roman Reigns and Paul Heyman and Jey Uso, and I think he will win the Intercontinental Championship, maybe at WrestleMania or something. Who knows? Over here, we had Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode, the Dirty Dogs, that's their name for some reason, the SmackDown Tag Team Champions, take on Alpha Academy, which is Otis and Chad Gable, where Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode did pin Chad Gable, but I don't have Chad Gable, so I just put Otis laying here with Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode standing over top of him with the titles because they did win. Over here, I just wanted to point out that Jey Uso is back. He hasn't been on SmackDown in a few weeks, and he was supposed to be in the Royal Rumble, but he wasn't in it. But yeah, Jey Uso is back, so that's cool. Over here, we had Cesaro take on Daniel Bryan again, where Cesaro once again beat Daniel Bryan. And instead of rubbing it in his face as a bad guy, Cesaro gave him a fist bump and turned face. So finally, we got face Cesaro back. He faced Shinsuke Nakamura back. Hopefully, Cesaro is going to get a push, and maybe he could win the Intercontinental Championship or something. I doubt it, but maybe one day. And then for the final thing, the show kicked off with Roman Reigns, who basically said, why am I out here first before Edge? Why is Edge not out here saying he's going to challenge me at WrestleMania? And then he basically gave a warning to Edge. He said, Edge, I'll give you to the end of the night to make your announcement on who you're facing, or else there's going to be some consequences. At the end of the night, Roman Reigns was out there waiting for Edge. Then Edge came out, and they were talking back and forth a little bit. Roman Reigns saying, acknowledge me as the tribal chief, as the rightful champion, as the head of the table. When out of nowhere, Kevin Owens comes back, stuns Roman Reigns, and then Edge kind of just sits there shocked, and he still hasn't made his choice. So who will Edge face? Will he face Drew McIntyre? He even made a challenge against Finn Balor for the NXT Championship. So will he face Finn Balor? Will he face Roman Reigns at WrestleMania? Who knows? All three of those matches sound like they'd be good. The one I wouldn't want to happen the least, though, or the most I wouldn't want to happen, is Balor versus Edge. Even though that'd be a good match, Edge does not need the NXT Championship. Then I'd probably have Roman Reigns versus Edge, because I love Roman and Edge, and I don't want Edge to lose the championship. And then the match I think should happen is Edge versus Drew for the WWE Championship. That way Edge can win the championship, and Drew McIntyre can still look strong because he's held the title for like a year basically now. And Roman Reigns has only held it for like 6 months, and still he needs to look really strong. And I don't want Edge to lose. So Edge versus Drew is my match I would have at WrestleMania. But that was the review for SmackDown. That was the weekly review. And good news, starting next video, there will be women's figures in the setups, because got some women's figures. So we got Charlotte, Rhea Ripley, Bianca Belair, Sasha Banks, people like that. So they will be in the next video, and I will see you guys in the next video. Make sure to like button and subscribe, turn on the post notifications, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.